Hey y'all, Tom, ND3N here, and welcome to another Ham Shack chat. This time we're going to talk about the International Amateur Radio Union, or IARU, and the upcoming IARU contest. In the United States, the Federal Communication Commission, or FCC, regulates, among a lot of other things, the amateur radio service, which we're all a part of. The Amateur Radio Relay League, or ARRL, is a non-governmental organization that advises the FCC in amateur radio subjects and represents amateur radio operators to the FCC and ultimately the U.S. government. In the same way, worldwide amateur radio, again, amongst other things, is represented by the International Telecommunications Union, and that's the ITU, and that's a part of the United Nations. The IARU is a collection of non-governmental organizations from all over the world, such as the ARRL, who advises the ITU and represents hams around the world to the United Nations. The IARU was founded in 1925. Now, at the time, the term short wave was just beginning to be understood and to be exploited for global communications using power levels and antennas that were within the reach of private individuals operating from their own homes. These radio amateurs needed an organization to coordinate their activities and let their voices be heard at international conferences. On this map, the 160 plus member countries of the IARU are shown in yellow. It is through the coordination, cooperation, and efforts of these countries together that over the last 97 years that allow us to chat with other amateurs around the world. In short, they deal with the international politics so that we don't have to. It is this organization, the IARU, that we celebrate with the IARU HF World Championship contest. You will find in the video description a number of links to help you get through the contest. Definitely the most important is the full rules. Now, the full rules make up a 11-page long PDF file that tells you everything you need to know to do the contest. As I'm trying to keep this video under an hour, I'll just be hitting the high points. The minutia of the contest is up to you. So go read those rules. This contest always occurs during the second full weekend in July. It begins at 1200 or noon UTC on Saturday and goes through 11:59, again noon UTC on Sunday. This makes it a 24-hour long contest, and you may operate the entire 24 hours regardless of your entry category. Activity is only on the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meter bands using the SSB phone and or CW modes. If you're a single operator or single operator unlimited, you may enter as a mixed mode. You can also enter CW only or phone only. Multi-operator stations may only enter as mixed mode. As the name implies, a single operator has one person performing all the operating and logging functions during the contest. The only difference between the single operator and the single operator unlimited categories is that the unlimited operators may use spotting assistance. Single operators may enter as a QRP station using 5 watts peak envelope power or PEP or less. Low power single operators may use up to 100 watts PEP, and the high power single operator stations may use up to 1500 watts PEP output. Multi-operator stations using a single transmitter will be considered high power stations using up to 1500 watts, and there is no entry for QRP or low power 100 watt operators. This entry category may use spotting assistance. Multi-operator 2-transmitter stations will be considered low power, using up to 100 watts, and may not use spotting assistance. Multi-2 stations may not have multiple signals on the same band at the same time, regardless of category or mode. It should be noted that even though the high power category caps out at 1500 watts, you'll be limited by your own country's regulations. Now, this goes especially for our friends in the UK and the Commonwealth therein, where your maximum power allowed is 400 watts. Personally, I don't want a visit from this guy.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Because someone thought I gave them permission to operate at a higher power than their government allows. The required exchange for a completed contact is a signal report in the RST or RS format, and okay. The required exchange for a completed contact is a signal report in the RST or RS format, and is commonly accepted and expected in ham radio contesting that this will be a 5.9 or 5.99, depending on your mode. For most stations, this will be followed by your ITU zone. So, my exchange would be ND3N 598 for phone and ND3N 5998 for CW. If you are an IARU member society headquarters station, you would send the abbreviation for your national society. For the United States, the headquarters station of our member society is WAW, and they would send 599 ARRL or 59 ARRL. The headquarters station of the German society would send DARC. The IARU headquarters station at the UN, NU1AW, sends IARU. Members of the IARU Administrative Council and the 3 IARU Regional Executive Committees send AC, R1, R2, or R3 as appropriate. Your final score will consist of the total number of QSO points times the multipliers. You get 1 point for contacts within your own ITU zone, or contacts in the same ITU zone but on different continents, and contacts with an IARU headquarters or other official station. Contacts within your own continent but in a different ITU zone count for 3 points. Finally, contacts with a different continent and ITU zone count for 5 points. Multipliers count by band, not mode. So working the same station on phone and CW in any given band would count for points, but only 1 multiplier. Multipliers are the total number of ITU zones worked per band, the number of IARU member society headquarters stations, and IARU officials worked per band. If you're operating only phone or only CW, you won't have to worry about this. However, if you're operating mixed mode, it's something that you'll want to keep your eye out for. Now, don't worry too much about points in the multiplier. Your contest logging software should help keep track of the things for you, and the contest robot will make sure that in the end, everybody is scored appropriately and fairly. Although working the contest just to put contacts in your log is a valid reason for getting on the air, especially with all the international traffic that's going to be happening, I encourage you to submit your log. Now, to be counted, you need to get your log submitted in the Cabrillo file within 7 days of the completion of the contest. The link to submit your log is in the video description, and information on how to submit your log on paper is in the full rules, which is also in the video description. I hope you've enjoyed our little ham shack chat about the International Amateur Radio Union IARU HF World Championship contest. Please take a moment to give me a like.
Please like me. Please.
By popping that thumbs up icon. Please share this content.
What about sharing?
With your friends and compatriots. If you have any questions about this contest, please post them down in the comments.
Questions? Comments?
Along with your final scores, if you please. And finally, please consider subscribing to this channel.
Sorry, you already subscribed.
I certainly do appreciate it. Here is a general video about contesting that you might want to watch. Yeah, I'll give you a minor rant warning on that one. 73. Until the next, hey y'all, I'm Tom, ND3N, and I am out.